Happy to have you aboard here for the Really Big Barbecue Show.
Boing. We cook because we have to, and we grill because we want to. Hit me!
Fine, how's it going?
You have a great show. I'm a big fan.
Boing.
So what seems to be the problem here? This man looks like he's dead, and he's in the crackle. Charbono! It's all about the charbono, dude.
Succulent fish. What?
He ate finsings or wieners.
Oh, listen, Lavernius, shut your face.
I'm shaking like a dog shit peach seeds.
We have top men working on it right now. Top men.
And just like that, we are into the second hour. It's the Barbecue Central Show. Live every Tuesday from 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern. Being recorded simultaneously for podcast release Wednesday and Thursday. That would be hour number 1 and 2, respectively. Dan in the instant chat writing, true fact, first podcast I ever listened to was the Barbecue Central Show in 2011 or 2012. Look at you, Dan. You're my favorite. Thank you, Dan. Cripes. I forgot to do something. Oh, I'm back on it. Look at that. There it is. The Vortic watch with the exhibition case back. You love it. I'm going to let you look at that side this week. The guts of the watch. Don't forget you can follow me socially at BBQ Central Show on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and the Snappy Snaps / BBQ Central Show on Facebook and Twitch for video feed / RD Rempe on YouTube for a video feed as well. Also, as I had mentioned the first hour, you can now get an ad-free podcast feed if you so desire by becoming a patron over at the new Barbecue Central Show Patreon page. And that is Patreon, Patreon, patreon.com / BBQ Central Show. It's $5 a month. Oh, my God. But what does it take? It compresses your listen, I can tell you that. It will be updated Wednesdays. It will also be updated Thursdays with the show. And then also you will get a best of show on Friday. And again, you can get that when you subscribe. You get a custom or private RSS feed that you can then put into your own favorite podcast platform. And then it shows up just like every other normal podcast that you would listen to, except it's ad-free. So if you like that, subscribe to it. If you don't. Coming up on the best moments of the Barbecue Central Show in 10 minutes or less, this Friday, episode 182 from June 25th, 2013, featuring Trace Arnold. Does that name ring a bell? Probably not. But he was on the show as a guest in 2013. We talked about his, if you can believe it, 80-foot offset barbecue and grill trailer. Yeah. Tractor trailer, by the way. He was hauling all over the country that year doing barbecue events. At the time, it was the biggest and longest operational barbecue and grill. It used to be just the longest and biggest operational barbecue, but then he added a grill portion. So it garnered the title biggest, longest operational barbecue and grill. At that point, he was doing a 13-city tour across the country, visiting various festivals and slinging barbecue to the masses. Trace also owned Three Stacks Barbecue and Tap House in Frisco, Texas. That has since changed hands. It's now owned by someone else completely different and under a different name, although it is still a barbecue joint. As you will hear Friday, Trace, a great guest, and brought a lot of personality to the segment, as you will hear in this best of episode, and I know you'll enjoy it. Don't forget, you can email John Solberg if you would like to hear a past guest or segment, and he can make it a best of all for you. JON at thebbqcentralshow.com. And then there's this. Uh-oh. I want to get away and get off of this, but you people won't let me. It's growing into the bit that just keeps on giving and giving and giving for 3 weeks in a row. Over the past week, I received a number of these emails. Greg, 2 weeks in a row, you spend time getting into a one-sided conversation with yourself about famous Dave Anderson and how he posted the Hall of Fame results early. Maybe you should spend as much time over the next few weeks telling everyone what famous Dave has accomplished and done for the industry. That would be the fair thing to do, since he hasn't, since he doesn't appear to be able to defend himself on your show in person. Get over it already. You get over it.
Get that big stuff out of here.
To all of you that took the time to write me versions of this email, and there were at least 5 different versions of this email saying the same thing, I say this to you with peace and love.
Peace and love. Peace and love.
Mind your own business. This doesn't concern you. And if you don't like hearing me go on and on and on about it, hit the fast forward button for the next few minutes and get past. You get over it. I don't have to get over anything. And I can get as much mileage off of this as I want, especially if I keep getting emails telling me that I'm wrong. I'm not wrong here. I was wronged here, but I am not wrong. I respect what semi-famous Dave Anderson has accomplished in his career. I respect that semi-famous Dave Anderson broke his stick in a bad barbecue show on the Food Network and didn't quit. I respect the fact that semi-famous Dave was able to put together a successful barbecue franchise model and sell it, which has spawned, by the way, some of the most inconsistent barbecue from location to location across the nation. All things I respect. What I don't respect is the sheer willingness to not hold anybody accountable for anything anymore. And this goes over and above semi-famous Dave Anderson. If I opened this mic up and just spilled all the things I know about people in this industry right now, your head would blow the fuck off, and I'm not kidding.
Get that big stuff out of here.
There is no question in my mind that the very foundations of this industry would crack should you hear all the things I know about various folks in the industry. But I am not in a race to be a douchebag, so I don't blab my mouth or disregard instructions given to me by people who are asking me to do something or not do something. Is it unreasonable to think that exhibiting and practicing this type of behavior is too much to ask? I don't think so. As I mentioned last week, had even one other person made a similar post around the same time or earlier, I would have marked it up to the Barbecue Hall of Fame not doing a good enough job broadcasting the secrecy of the info and the proper time frame to sit on those info bits before posting and promoting. But I can't hold them at fault because no one else besides semi-famous Dave made that mistake. No one else. He did it. Him alone. Do I hate semi-famous Dave Anderson? No. Do I hate the fact that he ripped my exclusive announcement from me because he or someone in his camp refused to fully read and understand the email that was sent to him and the associated instructions on how to act with said information? Yes. And if you were in my position, you would be pissed too. Now, stop writing me these emails so we can move on. I say this with peace and love.
Peace and love. Peace and love.
Stop sending me emails about what a dick I am to famous Dave. Sorry, semi-famous Dave. Because then I can get off of it. But if you're not going to get off of it, I'm sure as hell not getting off of it. And I'm warning you with peace and love.
I'm warning you with peace and love.
That's going to be it. Why do I see 2 Dougs? That's bizarre. I see a Rusty. Doug, wave your hand. There's no Dougs. Rusty, wave your hand. Yeah, all right. Well, this is looking like it's already going to be some kind of a disaster. Now we'll just hold our breath and pray that something good comes out of this. What's really going to be good... Wait. Oh, crap. That's number one. I got to send John a new link. John. Solberg. Use this. Doing a little house cleaning here. I'll edit that out in post. Don't you worry your pretty little heads over it. Let me talk to you quickly about my good pal Sterling Ball over at Big Papa Smokers. The one-stop online shop for all things barbecue, a curated selection of only the best outdoor cooking and grilling supplies. Get you on the path to better barbecue results in no time. Everything is approved by Sterling himself. 13 perfectly balanced rubs and seasonings. Popular flavors like Sweet Money, Cattle Prod, Cash Cow, all proven winners on the circuit and in backyards. I use them all the time. What more do you need? Also, Granny's barbecue sauce. Looking for a new go-to sauce? Tired of everything else that's on the market? Sure you are. Christ. How is this happening? This is my fault. It's got to be my fault. Hold on. Jeff Rice. Ugh. Ricer. Yes. All right. Jeff, if you're listening, try the link I just sent you. All right, John is in. This has got to work. Fingers crossed. Where was I? Granny's barbecue sauce. Right, get that. Great by itself. Great as a base sauce as well. You can tweak it if you want. They're selling cookers. You knew it. Mac 2-star General Pellet Cooker. Big Papa is the exclusive Mac dealer, even offering special packages. Not a fan of pellet smokers? Try the Old Hickory Ace BP. The only charcoal smoker that Big Papa trusts on his competition trailer. If you're not sure of what grill you need, call them. Ask questions, 877-828-0727, or shop their website at bigpapasmokers.com. That's BIGPOPPA smokers.com. Maybe we're back with... Well, I know I have 3 of the embedded correspondents, the traditionals. I'm waiting for the champion of American Idol Barbecue Central Show Season 1 to show up, but we will make do. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Howard Stern, Jim Rome, Dan Patrick, and Greg Rempe. The Mountain Rushmore of talk show entertainment. Now, let's get back to the Barbecue Central Show.
All right, welcome back. This portion of the show being brought to you by Pit Barrel Cooker, the most unbelievable outdoor cooking device on the planet, as Noah said last hour. Currently available in 2 sizes with a host of accessories. Whether you're a beginner or a professional, definitely a cooker you want to add to the arsenal. Visit pitbarrelcooker.com and tell them the Barbecue Central Show sent you. PBX should be out towards the end of summer. Dean, that won the book winner, says, Greg, could you please sign the free book as to keep in tradition and to continually add value to the book? Yes, I will. You know it, Dean. Get ready for a one-of-a-kind Greg Rempe signature on a book that I didn't write. I am happy to do that. We're still waiting for Jeff Rice to get in. But it is the 4th Tuesday of the month in the second hour, and you know what that means. There is a visit from the Embedded Correspondents. There they are. Look at them. All right there. Hey, gang. Happy to see everybody here. And I'm wondering. Let's do this real quick. Doug, can you give me a sound check real quick?
Testing. All 1, 2, 3.
Sounds good. John, how about you?
Congratulations, my friend Barbecue Dean, on winning that signed book from you.
No doubt. And Rusty?
I want a signed book from you.
You got to be ready to win, Rusty. Come on. You know
I was ready.
Sorry. You just didn't. You
I was
weren't quick enough.
Ready. I guess not.
Next time. Got to have quick fingers. You can't put anything else. As I've always told people who want to win stuff on the show, when I say send me an email, just fill out the bits that I tell you, like only subject line, some people like to put hi or pick me. You're taking valuable time. People have already hit the send button. So just a reminder, when we do those quick games, just fill out exactly what I tell you to and then hit send very quickly, because then that gives you the greatest chance of winning. We're waiting for Jeff Rice, and I'm going to suggest, Jeff, if you're listening, you need to do a full shutdown reboot from cold and come back in if it's not working, because everybody else is in. And here we are this evening. We got Doug Scheiding right there, and John's right there, and there's Rusty. It's opposite when you're looking at the confidence monitor across the way. So we welcome everybody in. Boys, 3/4 of us on this panel are getting ready to shake the very foundations of a very well-known, mostly very well-liked, high-end steak joint called Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Now, let me give a little background here before we start diving into this and pretty much dynamiting what Ruth Chris stands for. For as long as I've ever gone, and I think that was the very first high-end steakhouse I'd ever been to in 2001. I was at the Mid-American Truck Show in Louisville, Kentucky, and our big night out with customers was going to the Ruth's Chris just outside of where the exposition center was there, and that's where I got my first taste of Ruth's Chris. And they went on during the ordering process that our steaks are served on 500-degree plates and blah, blah, blah. And the idea, of course, is they want the last bite of steak to be just as hot as the first bite, and this is why they're putting steak on 500-degree plates, because common thought would be that the plate will remain hot, at least through the balance of your eating the steak. So your last bite will have some kind of a temperature to it, perhaps not as hot as the first bite, but whatever. And then it had been a number of years since I had been to a Ruth's Chris. And then recently, through this volleyball season, I had occasion to visit one in St. Louis, Missouri. And then for this particular test, I also visited one in Columbus, Ohio. So outside of my general area, because the one here in Cleveland went out of business. It's not downtown anymore. It's gone. So I had to go outside of town, which I'm happy to do because volleyball takes me everywhere, and that's the only time I travel. And we reached out to the Embedded Correspondents and said, hey, if you are around a Ruth's Chris, I want you to go. And if you have a pistol infrared thermometer, let's put it to the test. Before I go any further, Rusty, as you go to your Ruth's Chris, do they make specific reference to the 500-degree plate?
Yeah, it's all part of the spill that they cook it to 1,500 degrees or something like that, and the plate's at 500, or they cook at 1,500. It's 1,500?
18.
And then it's 500, 18, yeah, you're right. And then the plate is at 500 degrees to keep the steak warm for your entire meal.
Mm-hmm. Doug, similar wrap that you got at your Ruth's Chris?
No, we sat at the bar, so maybe the bartender was worried about other drinks. So yeah. So
have you heard that before, though?
Yeah, I have.
Right. Doug, as you go into it, do you think that there's any way that these plates are literally going to be 500 degrees as they hit whatever's in front of you?
No. And kind of based on what I was told during the process, the answer would still be no.
And you're like one of the smartest people we know here collectively. I mean, you're like a rocket scientist, so you know how thermodynamics work and heat dissipation and all these other things. Rusty, were you skeptical hearing 500 degree, or is that one of those magical things like me when I was much younger in 2001 going, 500 degrees? Wow, I hope I don't touch it. But I believed everything they said.
It's like quicksand. We thought it'd be a bigger problem now, than it actually turned out to be. Working in the restaurant business, I knew that there was no way getting to my plate that it would get that way because it's got to sit in the pass. They obviously have the plate sitting under heat, and then they'll take it down. They'll put the steak on it. They'll hand it through the pass. It'll go onto a tray, which will wait for sides and other things. When an expediter will have it sitting there, and then who knows when that tray will get ran. So I didn't expect it to get that when I got there. In fact, the temperature I got, I was more expecting.
By the way, guys, Willie Foo Foo 92 thinks that this is a recording. Sir, this is live.
We'll do it live.
We do it live. Willie Foo Foo.
I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Son of a bitch. All right, so let's go ahead and get to the findings here. John, there was still no like Ruth's Chris anywhere near you, right? One didn't pop up magically in a month?
No, not within 65 miles.
Yes, all right. So totally understandable that you're not going to make the drive for that. Rusty, don't forget to send me the receipt so I can reimburse you for your steak, because that was part of the thing that I would reimburse you for a strip steak. And that's it. No drinks or other guests that you take, but I will take your strip steak receipt and reimburse you for that because of the time and effort that you've put in here. So let's go ahead to Doug. I have pictures that I will show here. And let's go to your... Oh, you actually took an internal temperature of your steak too, didn't you?
I did.
Oh, yeah.
When I sat down and I ordered, I said, she asked me how I wanted my steak done. I said, well, you're asking, I want it to 134. I said, precisely. and I said, is that going to be a problem? She goes, oh, no, that's not a problem. I'm like, okay. And I said, I'm also going to temp. I'm going to temp the steak and I'm going to temp the plate when it comes to me. So full disclosure, tell the chef, tell anyone you want to tell.
Yes.
That's what's going on here. I'm that guy.
Nobody had any problems with that? Did you build an audience as it was delivered?
No, I said, do they have thermapens back there? Oh, yeah, they've got thermapens, the thermometers back there. I said, no problem. Okay. Comes out and they put it in front of me and I temp it immediately. And the IR gun on the plate, I temped the plate first, 348 degrees.
There it is. Right there. 348 degrees. Wow.
And notice we had onion rings that I paid for as well. But anyway, so 348 degrees. and so then I went and temped the steak. So the first temp on the steak was 155 degrees.
Wow.
Fahrenheit. And so then I'm like looking around and I showed the bartender. And so I think my next one was 179. I think that I sent that one to you. That's the 10. Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
Nice. And so then the bartender starts. Yes, go ahead.
I said that steak is beat. There it is. Overcooked steak right
beat. There you go. It's totally overcooked. And the manager was watching me during this whole process. And I said, don't worry about it. I said, how as a corporation do you not have a training policy to cook steaks properly? I said, because we went through this a year or so ago. And remember, we had two raw steaks that were served at 80 or 90 degrees on these, 500. She goes, oh, no, they are maintained at 500 degrees in an oven. And then we pull them from the oven and put the steak on there. Like Rusty says, they're probably under a salamander or something, and depending on the sides and stuff like that. So she said, I'll get you another steak. And I said, okay. I said, but do not put it on a hot steak. Put it on a lukewarm steak and let's see what it comes out at. Came out at 132, went up to about 135. I said, there you go. You need a corporate training policy based on the steak and the thickness of the steak to get the temperature right.
All right. Well, that is insane. 348 degrees on Doug's plate, by the way, if you lost track of that. Now we'll go over to Rusty. Let me get back into my pictures folder here. Sorry. And let's see. So you have one picture. And what did you come to find out, Rusty?
Well, it was 284, something like that.
244, according to this picture.
244, there you go.
Yes, wow.
And I didn't temper it because I don't know if you guys know about these IR guns. Doug actually did it right. You're supposed to point it straight down. If you do it to the side, you don't get an accurate temp. So pro tip. But so I wasn't like Doug. I wasn't telling anyone. Growing up, going to Sizzler was fancy. So my wife was like, why are you wearing that shirt? This is a fancy restaurant. And I got tripped out. So I didn't want to be like, hey, I'm going to temp this, So I was like, oh shit. Okay, she's leaving. I can temp this now. And I was all inconspicuous. So I got a couple, but I kept on taking ones. I was like I said, I was nervous. So I was pointing at my steak more than I needed. But 244 was the average temperature. And from 500 to 244, a lot of stuff would have to happen in between there to have that actually happen, because Doug's was much hotter. So, but then again, bars tend to be closer to the kitchen, so that could be affecting, something. So, but yeah, it wasn't that hot. It was a great steak though. That's fantastic. I love Ruth's Chris. I'll go anytime. Anytime you want. Let's do this next week. Let's do this next time. Let's do another Ruth's Chris one. I'll go.
Yes, of course. Well, we got to do something that's going to include John. Now, let me go ahead and give you my findings here, because not only did I get to visit Columbus for this test, I also had 3 additional tasters. So we had a example of 4 different plates. So this is, let me get over to the page. So this is my wife's first shot at 307, and then another portion of the plate at 202, so well below 500. This is my oldest daughter Bobby's 225 on the plate, and a 296 in another portion of the plate. Then we went to my steak. This was by far the lowest temperatures of the evening, 159 on my plate, and a 197 was the highest reading that I got on the plate. And then youngest daughter Marley, she had the high water mark of the evening at there was 307 there, but 325, so 175 degrees off of 500, and that's what I have. So what I think we've come up with is this: saying 500 degrees makes it sound a bit fancier, a bit more formal. If you're into eating hot steak all the way through your dining experience, the plate, whether it's at 500 degrees or not, is going to provide you the potential of having that last warm bite of steak, if that's something that you desire. But it's also a cooking source. And if you have a 130-degree steak pulled off the grill and slammed onto that plate, over time, that steak's going to be 10 degrees hotter, maybe more. I tell my girls, flip the steak. Constantly flip the steak if you're not eating it, so no heat momentum builds up, and you can keep a nice bumper-to-bumper color. So I think we have blown the doors off of the 500-degree plate. Nothing's hitting the table at 500 degrees. John, do you think that if a plate was literally 500 degrees hitting a tablecloth, there might be a chance of fire?
Well, the ignition point of paper, I believe, is around 480 degrees Fahrenheit. And I don't know that exact. What the book was at Fahrenheit 451, the great novel. So yeah, I mean, the paper's going to burn. But it's less than 500 degrees to ignite paper. I don't understand if it has to be direct flame or conduction heat to do that. But yeah, there'd be burned stuff all over that restaurant in my brain at that temperature.
Doug, should our expose force Ruth's Chris to stop mentioning this 500 degree altogether?
Yeah, I mean, when you get a hot plate, and they say don't touch it. What do? It's a moth to the flame. It'd be like McDonald's and all the coffee issue and stuff. If someone touches a 500-degree plate, they're getting burnt fingers.
Rusty, should we have Ruth's Chris eliminate the 500 gimmick?
Yeah. I guess so. I mean, if it's always consistently that way, why continue doing it? If it's false narrative, I get that you want to have a story and that connects people to your restaurant, but it's got to be a true story.
John, did you have something to finish up with before we move on?
I just want to say to Doug, at 344 degrees and 244 degrees, people are still burning their fingers. So when Doug said people are going to, you know what I mean? The plate's still hot. You're still going to burn yourself. It's just not 500 degrees hot.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So Ruth's Chris, pay attention. We are coming for you, and you better beware. We're going to have you change your procedures and so forth. Go ahead, Doug.
Yeah, it needs a corporate training program because it's also going to depend on the thickness. So the temperature of the plate should depend on the thickness of the steak.
All right, there you go. So, guys, you stand by just for a second. I'll do a quick piece of business, and then we'll get to the singing. Jeff Rice is having incredible technical issues, which I don't think he's going to be able to recover from, but we're still going to play his song, no matter what. I'll talk to you quickly about Green Mountain Grill, some of the best pellet cookers out there on the market right now. You have 2 different lines to choose from, a Choice line and a Prime Plus line. The Prime Plus, more of a robust build. You have a front shelf. You have headlights in the cooking chamber so you can see in the middle of dark if that's your desire. You have Wi-Fi capability. You can control the grill from start to finish right there on your smartphone app. And everything in between. 2 internal meat probes, peek-in windows on the main cooking chamber, and the pellet hopper. So you're never going to run out of pellets, or at least you can see if you're going to run out, and then remedy that situation. If you don't need all the tech and all that other stuff, you get the choice line. It's still the same size cookers on the Jim Bowie and the Daniel Boone. However, you're saving some bucks because you don't have all that extra tech gear that is on the Prime Plus. Pick for yourself. They're selling through dealers. Go to greenmountaingrill.com, find a dealer near you. Visit the dealer, have them educate you, and then you pick which one you like the best. And if you're getting the Jim Bowie or the Daniel Boone, make sure you get the pizza oven insert because everybody loves high-heat pizza. The Neo Pies. Everybody loves a Neo Pie. GreenMountainGrill.com. That's GreenMountainGrill.com. Hope to have Jason Baker on here soon as we get into that time frame of potentially getting some kind of a decision through that lawsuit that they have ongoing with Traeger. So as things become more defined and more available of information passing along, we'll do that here on the show. GreenMountainGrill.com, and we're back with Barbecue Central Show Idol Season 2. Stick around, we'll be right back.
Celebrating over 10 years of prolific and unparalleled live fire barbecue and grilling talk. And yes, it's still being done from Cleveland, Ohio. You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show.
Welcome back. This portion of the show being brought to you by Smithfield through the grilling season. Go to smithfield.com for tips and tricks from Chris Lilly, Darren Worth, Ernest Cervantes, and Giles Cridlin. You can get mouth-watering flavor and no artificial ingredients. Smithfield Fresh Pork, quite simply. Some of the finest pork money can buy, and a trusted choice of World Championship pitmasters for use in competitions and at home. Go to smokinwithsmithfield.com if you're a committed cook and you finish first in ribs or shoulders. They want to know about it. Smokinwithsmithfield.com or smithfield.com for recipes and tips from World Champ pitmasters. Oh, dear. Well, I know what that means. These ladies are in the house. Look at that. The judges are in. There's Bobby with a cat. There's Willis in the middle. Maddie over there on the right. Ready to judge harshly, as always. But honestly and fairly. All right, harshly. We're ready to go. Now, we have no Jeff Rice. Believe it or not. For whatever reason, he has not been able to connect in. I've told him to use different web browsers, restart computers. He's done that. He's been text messaging me. And I have no update other than maybe try Safari. That was 7 minutes ago, and we have nothing. That doesn't mean anything. This is a competition, boys. This is why we do stuff pre-recorded, right? That's right, because we know what we're doing. We're accounting for the human error and the technical error here in this live production. All right, before we get to that, let's go ahead and fire up the mics. The ladies here, make sure that we can hear everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
All right.
Hello.
Let me
Can
see.
you hear me?
Everybody,
Hello.
I can hear everybody. Bobby, can you say something?
Can you hear my cat?
Right. Yes, we can.
Wait, you can hear me?
So,
Oh, she was
Can you hear
talking about the cat.
here we are, ladies.
I can't hear myself.
I can hear myself.
I can hear Bobby. I can't hear me. Now I
now
hear
I can.
myself.
All right.
Very loud, very
Very
loud.
loud. Thank you. King of the castle.
King of the castle.
King of
All
the
right,
castle.
ladies, put a pipe in it.
No.
Here we go. We're month 3. Here we are, month 3. This is the semifinals. Marley, let's start with you. What are you most looking forward to this month with John and Jeff and myself being the only ones left? And talk on that microphone. Let's go.
I want to see if, I don't know.
Go on.
Wow. A master of the English language. Maddie, what are you looking forward to the most in month 3? It's the semifinal.
I want to. I can't hear myself.
I can hear you, so talk.
Okay. I really want to see you guys push your limits. I want to hear some fun songs that we wouldn't expect you to pick. Maybe a song that we know and you're putting your own twist on it. That would be fun. I want to be surprised.
This light needs to go.
All right, Bobby.
I'm seeing myself and I look bad.
Go ahead. Turn it off. No. Turn it off.
I don't know how.
There's a switch right there.
Oh. Thank you. I want my socks to be blown off. I'm excited.
Yeah.
And I want to be wowed.
Wowed. All right. Here we go. Guys, hearing that, Doug is also a guest judge. Rusty, the most recent entrance into the guest judging. Rusty, what are you looking forward to in the semifinals?
Dad. Marley didn't go.
Wait, hold on, Rusty. I had you on mute. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I'm back?
Yes.
Yeah, I want to hear singing. That's what I want to hear in a singing competition. I also don't care much about the song, really, because it doesn't matter if you know it or not. It doesn't really matter because it's a singing competition, and how well they sing it shouldn't matter. That's all I have to say about it.
Doug, what are you looking forward to in the semifinals?
I'm looking for great production, and I doesn't need to be a song. Banana and Blow was okay last time, but sing what you want, and it'll be something unique. So I'm good with whatever. But Utah Jazz, they lost, right? Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Doug.
All right.
Thanks.
Well, we're certainly not talking about any of that here this evening, so don't worry about that. No basketball talk. Hey, look who made it. There's Jeff Rice right there. Hey, Jeff, how are you? Are you on mic tonight, or you just sitting in, looking good there, or anything?
Just sitting in. I don't know if you can hear me or not.
Oh, I can. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I can.
All right.
Good. All right. Well.
All right. So at least you can hear me, but whatever. I can't get it over onto my other camera. So
that's all right.
I'll sit here like
Don't
this.
worry about it. There's Jeff right there. So we are ready to go for the semifinals, as we always do. We will go to the judges so they can pick the first participant. Marley, since you didn't seem to have a thought on what you were really most looking forward to here in the semifinals, we'll let you pick who goes first. We have Jeff Rice, who is the defending champion. We have John Solberg, Michigan Embedded Correspondent, and me, your daddy.
King of the gas.
John.
All right, so let's go to John here. John, tell us the song you picked and why it inspired you to try here in the semifinals.
I picked a song that I felt that I could sing, and the song is very special to me. It is a very emotional song for me. It's the story of a Air National Guard pilot whose job is to fly home the remains of his fallen brothers. But it's something that I felt that I could do, and it's important to me. And it's something I wanted to do, so that's why I chose this song.
All right. By the way, before we get to John's song, I want to go ahead and thank it's like a progress of sorts as we get through this competition here in season 2. But I was able to contract the help of none other than the official sound engineer of the show, Haniel Trisna. You can find him over on Facebook, who is a mix master by profession. He does recording, he does live sound. Like, he is a legitimate live sound person. And we all had the opportunity, a little late, to forward our raw tracks and our music beds, and he would put them together with the expert touch. And Jeff and I took advantage of that. John decided that he is going to go full on his own, mixing his own, singing his own. He didn't do the backing track, but everything else is John's heart and soul here. It's all him. So without any further ado, we will go to John's song right here. Stand by.
Andrews Tower, good morning. Angel Flight Bravo 02 ready for takeoff.
Angel Flight Bravo 02, you are number 1 for takeoff, runway 25. Get 'em home, boys.
All I ever wanted to do was fly. Leave this world and live in the sky. I lift a C-130 out of Fort Worth town. I go up some days, I don't wanna come down. Well, I fly that plane called the Angel Flight. Come on, brother, you're with me tonight. Between heaven and earth, you're never alone. On the Angel Flight, come on, brother, I am taking you home. I love my family and I love this land, but tonight this flight's for another man. We do what we do 'cause we heard the call. Some gave a little, but he gave it all. I fly that plane called the Angel Flight. Come on, brother, you're with me tonight. Between heaven and earth, you're never alone. On the Angel Flight, come on, brother, I am taking you home. Come on, brother, I am taking you home.
Carson Tower, Angel Flight, Bravo 02, gear down 5 miles.
Angel Flight, Bravo 02, your number 1 for landing. Welcome home.
Wowee. What a song. John, let's go to you first. Typically we go back for a reaction here, but I'm not familiar with that song. Was that a military song, or is that something that was on the radio?
That is a songwriter, Radney Foster. It's like Rodney, but with an A, Radney. And he's a singer-songwriter from the Fort Worth area. You probably have heard a lot of his songs done by other artists. It's a 2009 song, so it's been around a while, but it's just something I stumbled upon years ago, and as an Air Force veteran. And the song, it moves me. So it was hard to sing, but I wanted to sing it, and I'm glad that I was able to actually sing it, because the song makes me cry. So I'm just glad I could hopefully do it some kind of justice.
Absolutely done very well. A lot of people in the instant chat saying how deep the song was. A lot of people saying they have goosebumps, so well executed. Let's go to the judges here in studio. Maddie, your thoughts first? Hold on. Get everybody muted. Go ahead, Matt.
I thought it was very good. You sang it well. It was a good performance. Good song choice. Very meaningful. I liked it. Good job.
Willis.
I was a bit iffy at first with it, but then it got a lot better as it was going on. And I think with your voice being so deep, it also fit the song well. So, good job.
And Bobby.
I agree. I think that the song complimented your voice and it sounded really good, and I think you did like a good job of singing it.
Rave reviews here from the ladies in studio. Let's go to our celebrity judges. Doug, your thoughts?
Yeah, it's a heavy song. It reminded me of my father and his tour in Vietnam. And John, I thought you did a great job on the production and the tower, bringing him in, etc. So next time, just go full Johnny Cash.
Rusty.
That was fantastic, man. Like the emotion was there. Like it really gave me goosebumps too listening to it. It's like, I'm not crying, you're crying. You nailed it. Perfect for your voice. The song was fantastic. I think that if you don't win this one, and I haven't heard Greg's yet or Jeff's, but if you don't win this one, there's something wrong with all those folks listening right now. That was probably the best yet.
And
ever, out of it.
America is going to vote here. So once we close up shop here this evening, voting is open from at the end of the show all the way until midnight for this coming Monday, and then we will have the person that is getting voted off on top of the second hour next Tuesday. So we will go back to the ladies here. Don't forget, the next two songs that you hear will have been master mixed by a good friend of the show and official sound guy, Haniel Trisna. If you're looking for a sound guy, to do any type of mixing, mastering, this is what he does, hit me up, Greg, at thebbqcentralshow.com, and I will put you in contact with him because he is the man. Robert, who would you like to have go next?
You.
Returning. All right. So that's going to be me. I have picked the song Fire Woman by The Cult because I use this song all the time on Instagram, pretty much on everything on my stories. I also somehow have assimilated it to being extra meaningful to the live fire community, although that is solely my thought and there's no substance behind that other than I think that is. So I said, hey, I use this song a lot. I'm gonna sing it. And then I sang it and I thought, man, this could be a really bad idea. And it took a number of efforts, but I was able to get my portion of it over to Haniel, and he returned back a file that I am now going to play for you. Ladies, any thoughts here before we
Can you hear me?
get going? Yes, I can hear you.
Can you turn me off?
Yes. Can I turn you off?
I keep hearing myself.
What does that mean, you can hear yourself?
You're the king of the castle. Turn the microphone off, please.
All right. You're off. Wow, we're going to have to rethink judges for season 3, guys. Here we go. My rendition of Fire Woman.
Shake, shake, shake it, come on. Wound up, can't sleep, can't do anything right, little honey. Since I put my eyes on you, hey, I tell you the truth now. Twisting like a flame in a slow dance, baby. You're driving me crazy. Come on, little honey. Come on now. Fire. Smoke cheers are rising. Fire. Yeah, smoke on the horizon. Fire. Smoke cheers are rising. Fire. Oh, smokestack lightning. Smokestack lightning. Well now, shake it up. You're to blame. Got me swaying, little honey. My heart's a ball of a burning flame. Oh yes, it is now. Prancing like a cat on a hot tin shack. Lord have mercy. Come on, little sister. Come on and shake it. Fire. Smoke cheers are rising. Fire. Oh, smoke on the horizon. Fire. Smoke cheers are rising. Fire. Oh, smokestack lightning. Smokestack lightning. Oh yeah, Barbecue Central Show, American Idol Season 2, and I'm coming to win this
All right. My effort on Fire Woman. Let's go ahead and unmute the ladies here and fire up the heat. Maddie, your thoughts?
I thought it was... I can't hear myself. Is my mic on?
Yes.
Okay. I was going to say, I thought it was really good. You could really hear the effort, the emotion, the passion in your voice.
The fire.
Yes, the fire, if you will. If you will. Haha. But yeah, I definitely thought it was very good. One of your best so far. So good job.
Robert?
I definitely think it was probably the best song of both seasons. You hit all those high notes very well, and I think it was risky, but it was good. You nailed it.
Oh, all right. Willis?
I also think that it was one of your best performances.
There you go.
Both of the seasons. And I really did like the ending. I thought it was the fun little twist at the end. And I think your voice went really well with it.
All right, thank you. Now let's go to the celebrity judges in the house. Doug, you're first.
That rivals Reiser's first round song as being the best song of the year. Now, you didn't take your own advice from the standpoint of it was a little long. So, but that might go against you. But otherwise, it was fantastic. Great energy. I loved it.
Rusty, your thoughts?
You know that guy we grew up with, Greg, that was into metal but wore Jordache shorts? That's what it reminded me of. You know what I'm saying? And he grew up and he's like, I can sing in karaoke. I'm going to give this a shot. I'm going to sing the Cults. You know, that's what it reminded me of. But that said, that was your best performance, period. It was really good. In fact, it was so good, I forgot that it was you for a minute. So,
really?
Yeah, honestly, it was really great.
Well,
really
then
great.
We have to give thanks and praise to Haniel Trisna, official sound guy, who mastered this song. So whatever subtle hand that he did that obviously I can't do in a production style setting, we thank him. All right, so that leaves this guy, returning champ, Jeff Rice. Jeff, tell us about your song and why you sang it.
Well, after a complete debacle of a week last week, and then a complete debacle on the first song that I picked, I had to pick a song that I was familiar with so I could get it done. And I picked Seven Nation Army by White Stripes.
Oh, wow.
And that's really all I can tell you. And I really wish I had your high vocal range, buddy. I really do.
Well, we'll see how it goes. Jeff, interpretation of Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes.
Army couldn't hold me back. They're gonna rip it off, taking their time right behind my back. And I'm talking to myself at night because I can't forget. Back and forth through my mind behind a cigarette, and the message coming through my eyes says leave it alone. Every single one's got a story to tell. Everyone knows about it, from the Queen of England to the hounds of hell. And if I catch you coming back my way, I'm gonna serve it to you. And that ain't what you want to hear, but that's what I'll do. And the feeling coming through my bones says find a home.
All right, Jeff Rice with Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes. We'll unmute everybody here and go to the in-house judging first. Robert, your thoughts on Jeff Rice, returning champion and defending champion of Season 1's Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes. You familiar with that song?
Yes, I know
What
that
do you
song.
think? What do you think?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good song. I liked the song to begin with. I think you did really good singing it. The pitch was clean and it just went really well.
Willis.
I think it was a little easy for you, but I thought you did well on it. So, and
You think he's trying to coast into the finals?
I mean, yeah, because he's a returning champion and he wants to, like, maybe he thinks just because he was a champion, he'll be back in it again.
Nice.
He played it easy.
Right, bringing it strong. Maddie, your thoughts?
Okay, good.
I knew the song to begin with. I liked that song. I just think that it was missing a little bit just because of the higher parts of the song, but it is out of your vocal range, so I can't really hold that against you. But, you know, keep that in mind for your next song. If it's not going to fit, maybe don't go with it. It was good. Not my favorite of the night, but it was good.
All right, let's go to the guest judges. Rusty.
Well, I love that song. That used to be my band warm-up song at shows because that was my bass warm-up band, song, and then everyone's like, play it, and we just play it. So we just started playing it. Great song. I couldn't sing it. I could just play bass on it. So you did a fantastic job with that, but it was a great departure from the normal stuff you did, Jeff. Like the first one was, and that frickin' that second song was so great. And so I think that it was too, like, kind of, I think your great strength is like that, what you've been doing this season. So that's the only nick, but it was a great song and you did a good job singing a good cover.
Doug, your thoughts?
I thought it was a good song, and Jeff, you've shown the most variety throughout the season this time. I actually thought there was some great production value because I think some things were stretched out and compressed from a timing standpoint. But overall, good job.
No doubt about it, and we thank once again the mix master of the show, Haniel Tristna, for doing mine, and Jeff's track doing the mastering there. I think that's the correct term. And as Paul Nicholson said, holy cow, 3 awesome performances. I couldn't agree more. Jeff, let's go ahead and start the summations with you. Your thoughts on the semifinals this evening and who you think might be going through.
Well, I have to say that, I tried to actually sing for once so I wouldn't get hollered at. But I'm gonna take my hat off to you and John, to be real honest with you. I think you guys crushed it. Again, it's, I did what I could, and hey, I'm glad I got this far. We'll see. I'm not giving up. I'm not a quitter. So, Dead Broke Barbecue Nation, maybe they'll like it. Who knows? We'll see.
All right.
But you both really kicked my butt.
Doug, your thoughts on the evening itself?
I think it's going to be very close on the voting. You're not going to have someone run away, and you're not going to have someone dragging dead ass last. But I would have to say that Greg, in my opinion, you won the night. But that's my opinion.
John, your thoughts on the evening of singing?
You guys did a fantastic job, and I'm very hopeful to give Haniel a chance to mix me in a duet in the next round. And please extend my thanks to Haniel, because you guys that was amazing. It's like you're going to be hard to beat with him at the switch and your guys' vocals. So outstanding job to both of you. Very enjoyable.
Rusty, your thoughts on the evening?
All strong, man. I think you guys did a really good job, all 3 of you. I'm really impressed with what John was able to do on his own, because I know how much production value can add to a song that you guys don't quite understand. And the fact that he did all that stuff by himself was really fantastic. And the song he picked could not have been more perfect. I just think that he kind of did it. Right now, if he wins this time, who knows what's going to happen. Jeff, if he loses this time, I think he could have won it. This could have been his Saints playoff moment where he just kind of tanks at the last minute and then could have won the Super Bowl.
All right, ladies in the house here, your thoughts for the evening and what you would like to see in the finals. Bobby, you can go first.
I think all 3 of you did really, really good tonight. I don't know who will go through because it's only 2 go now, right? America
Top two will go as America votes into the finals next month.
Yes. Well, I'm excited for next week. I'm looking for, or next month.
Next month for the show.
Next month. I'm excited for next month. Good job to everybody tonight.
Willis, your thoughts?
I think you guys also, the three of you did really good. And I want to see you guys all push yourselves again to see. And I think the final will be really good.
Maddie, final thoughts?
I think everybody did really good. I definitely have the two in my mind that I definitely think are going to get through. I will not be saying that. But
no names, please.
I think everybody did really good tonight. It was a good night for song choices and production and all that good stuff. But if you really want to knock my socks off, turn my mic off. For the next round, you should try to sing Decode by Paramore, because that's a very challenging song. And if one of the two who make it through did that, I would be very surprised if it was good.
I would be very surprised too, because that's a female singing a song. All right, so that's going to do it for the ladies. We appreciate you, and we thank you for your time. You are excused, and the beatings will commence after I get upstairs from doing post, as always. My final thoughts for this evening are this. Of all of the seasons, now numbering 2, and into the semifinals here, pound for pound, this has got to be the best quality singing show that we have been able to produce thus far, which also gives me a tremendous amount of hope that come season 3, because, oh, by the way, there is going to be a season 3, we might actually be able to attract big names in the barbecue and grilling industry to take part in this. I floated out to some folks that maybe they would want to sponsor this, have prizes, things of this nature. So I think for as much as nobody wants to continue this ongoing, all of us, we are probably going to continue this ongoing at least for one more season. Maybe we can generate some serious cash. I know Jeff likes cash, so maybe that would be $25,000 of the winner. I'll work on that. But man, I think we have something going here, and I want to extend my thanks to Jeff for doing it again another month. John, doing all yourself. By the way, as Rusty said, for those that don't know what goes into editing and producing, it probably took 30 minutes to cut the airport lines, like the air traffic between the tower and the plane, and doing it in 2 different filters, and then fitting it into the song, and saving and rendering, all that stuff, aside from the song itself. So, John, it was a tremendous effort. I know now why you wanted to run with it all by yourself, and I think you did a fantastic job. And I think the downside is, of course, that we had Haniel on our side, and thank goodness for that. Otherwise, I think Jeff and I might be sucking hind tint here this evening and hoping that we just come in second and not third. And that's that. All right. So let's go ahead and get ready to head out here. Before we do it, let me give you promotional time. Jeff, let me know what's happening with you and anything you would like to promote before we leave here this evening.
I'd like to promote my new Facebook group, the Dead Broke Barbecue Nation. And then July 1st, I'm going to be on that Martha Gets Dirty Season 1. I don't know how long, but I did about a 10-minute clip, and we'll see. It'll probably be 30 seconds on it on D+. So we'll see.
All right, Doug, what are you promoting tonight?
My all recipe article was released a couple of weeks ago. It's on technology and barbecue. I'll see and meet Rusty this weekend. We are going to a sausage making class. He's flying down this weekend. So he'll be staying in my house. So we are going to have some fun. And then I've got a Traeger class that's sold out starting July 8th on brisket.
John, what are we promoting?
This Friday is the best moments. Don't forget to check that out wherever you get your favorite podcasts. Just search the BBQ Central Show. I'd also like to ask you to take a look at johnsolberg.com. That's up and running. I've been offering individual one-on-one barbecue and grilling classes and a few other things. And you can find that at johnsolberg.com. I'd love to hear from you from there as well.
Rusty, what are we promoting?
Yeah, man, that sausage class is going to be bitching. So I'm excited about it. But on the podcast, the Pitmasters podcast this week, we have Chris Webb of Bushmaster Barbecue. probably one of the hottest guys on the scene right now, especially on the West Coast. So check it out if you guys want to learn a little bit more about competition barbecue. Other than that, I'll see you guys next month.
All right, I'm promoting, if you want, the ad-free whatever podcast over at Patreon, patreon.com/BBQ Central Show. So if you want to get a podcast live show, you're going to have to live with it because that's why we do it live.
We'll do it live.
That's why we do it live. However, on the podcast, you can sans ad by going over to patreon.com/BBQ Central Show and then subscribing there if you want to. If not, just listen as normal. All right. Jeff, thank you. Doug, thank you. John, thank you. Rusty, thank you. They are the embedded correspondents right there. And I will do a bit of housekeeping info.
Whole packers, full
or not.
racks, legs and thighs.
Why bother?
Injecting butts. If you've never heard this before, you might think you found the best XXX show ever. Let's get back to the most homoerotic host out there today, Greg Rempe.
All right. We'll do it this way. This portion of the show brought to you by Vortic Watch Company, a small batch custom watch manufacturing and vintage restoration company located in northern Colorado, taking American pocket watches, turning them into wrist watches just like this one. Their mission, preserve and enhance the legacy of manufacturing excellence in America. In order to do that, they combine traditional and cutting-edge technology to create unique, quality, functional timepieces with exceptional value. And the coolest part, each watch that Vortic makes is unique, one of a kind. Vortic founded on the motto that America wasn't assembled, it was built. Check out vorticwatches.com or click the logo on the website, and you can see everything that they're offering there. Wow, what a tremendous month 3, semifinals. Can't believe. Jeff showed up big. John showed up huge. I showed up as well. We thank once again the official sound guy of the Barbecue Central Show, Haniel Trisna, for mastering mine and Jeff's. He's also volunteered to master the duet that will happen in the finals between whoever the two finalists are. So as we end here this evening, and you're listening in podcast because you'll get this on Thursday unless you're watching the video, which you'll get all 2 hours. Right now starts the voting. Vote from now until Monday at midnight, and the top 2 of the 3 vote getters will make it to the finals, where we will have a pre-recorded duet. And then the thing that changed the face of internet shows all over the place, the 2 finalists will sing live on the show in the finals to try and take the title of the week later. So you have that to look forward to now, don't you? That's right. All the way back in the first hour, we were talking with Noah Glanville from Pit Barrel Cooker. PitBarrelCooker.com is the website. The Pit Barrel Extreme, I'm going to call it Extreme, the PBX, the Pit Barrel Extra Large, is coming out at some point this summer or early fall. Keep an eye out. Also, the stainless steel model will happen maybe sometime next year. I think I just lost the internet. Also, in the second hour, we talked with Derek Riches. I did. DerekRiches.com is his website, and you can check out his latest article talking about the history of barbecue on the internet back in the olden days. Second hour, Embedded Correspondents, doing our Ruth's Chris expose, and we found out all about that. And then closing it out, what did we do? We sang for your hearts and minds, and your votes, most importantly, voting now until Monday at midnight to see who moves on to the finals in month 4 of Barbecue Central Show's American Idol Season 2. Big show planned for you next week. As always, we have a bonus week here in June. September 11th, 2001. I will never forget. And until next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, this is your program host and proud U.S. American, Greg Rempe. Good night now.
This is Chris Payne from Euclid, Ohio, and you are listening to Barbecue Central.